Today is 11th of March 2025. I will summarize the important part of HTML again and introduce about CSS, which is Cascading Style Sheet. First, in HTML, there was a lot of tag. You can organize every tag at DOM. In DOM, they specify the order and hierarchy of every HTML tag. And you can see it is very useful when you use CSS selector, because when you use CSS selector, you can use it for embed it in each of the tag, or you can specify it using CSS selector to pinpoint class or other things, using hashtag to define it in header file. So when you select it, it is very useful to know which of the if you want to specify what you need to choose, maybe div or maybe other, maybe P1 or H1, you should know correctly div is exactly where it is. Maybe it's below the H1 or maybe it's below the P1. So, and also it would be nice to remember its tag information like image tag. For src attribute, it specifies the image URL, and for alt attribute, it describes the image. And for you should it is also good to know the semantic structures. Like there's div tag, but you can split. You can go in detail. Like it can be header, or it can be main or footer, or it can be aside or section or things. Then not if you not just use it as div, but if you use it as aside, then you can more make it design nicely. For today is CSS. I will show you here like style.html. Then you can, using style to, in head file, you can define it. And this is the CSS selector. Right now, you can see I define H1 for this H1s. For this H1s, I will make color as blue and text aligned as center. And for it, they have selectors and they have properties and values. Color and text decoration font family has values of red, underline, sans serif, in this case, value of blue. Style can be attributed in header file or inline file like H1 style. This is how inline applied it. In this case, then we have kind of, there is H1 and there's also H1 defined again. Then in this case, there is priority exist. I will show you the priority later. So there's common CSS properties, color, text align, width. You can also define width, auto or something. And you can also group the selectors. Like I only use H1 here, but I can use H2 for heading. In this case, you can just put it together here. And there's ID and class for CSS file. What is good for? Yeah, in this case, I made ID for Henley and class for Modric. Just in CSS selector, we can access ID with ID is unique classifier. So you can access it with hashtag, and for select for class, you can access with this dot. And as I show you here, in this case, like I talked about priority, for priority, the specific selector has high priority, so it will have high priority, and it all starts cascade from top to the top of the ship to the bottom. So if I again define about color, and maybe aquamarine, then it is below this. So this has priority against this one. And I talked about DOM, which is document object model. It defines every HTML tag is part of DOM, and they all have parent and almost always have a child. So it will be shown as tree structure. And there's also CSX selector grammar, like this case, which is you are choosing child selector, which means select all li descendants directly inside OL. So in this case, I descendant directly to it descendant directly to OL. So if I think it's descendant directly to OL, so I was going to probably choose this one and there is also OL, yeah, or OL plus LI. Then in this case, I choose LI, which only if it shares a parent with OL. This is the meaning. And there's meaning such as OL, LI, which is pseudo selector and pseudo element selector. Pseudo selector and pseudo element selector. I will discuss it later again. And there is, yeah, and this will be just descendant selector that select LI anywhere inside OL. This is descendant selector. And for responsive web design, there is concept that is related with viewport, media queries, and layout techniques in CSS, which is viewport it is different when you see it in desktop, tablet, and smartphone. And media queries is if you see every HTML, if you make, then there is viewport, which is essential tag for controlling how a website fits into different size. So it's very important. Media type, for media type, there's print, screen hover, and media features, there's height, width, and orientation. For layout techniques, there's box model, which select margins, padding, borders. And there is flex model, which is you are defining display flex and flex wrap. So it is very flexible when you expand website or shrink it. And for the grid one, it defines grid, display as grid. And there's other like positioning float things. If you use Mac, you can tap the button F12 and globe icon in Chrome, so you can also check Flexbox and these things. In Flexbox, there is container. We should define container, and in container, there's item. So we should only define about container, padding, margin, flex. Then items are implicitly defined. And a basic property of flex container, there will be display, flex, and also maybe align item, flex direction, or flex wrap. And flex direction, if you change, you can change it like flex direction row or flex direction row or flex direction column. In flex direction column, this is the cross axis way, and this will be main axis way. Yeah, actually, if you use Bootstrap, it is way easier. Just copy and paste from Bootstrap HTML file. Then there's no need to install other files, but I will introduce it later. Today it was more basic concepts to really use CSS. Thank you very much.